Twilight Syndrome. I've previously taken you through the first two games in the series, the Twilight Syndrome duology. At the end of the second game, we learn that the trio's series of adventures have been partially orchestrated by some kind of entity. Why they were brought here, and why Mika, the airhead of the trio, is the only one that remembers their old world and their past lives, well, I suppose we'll have to dive in to find out. So sit back and relax and let me, for probably the first time in English, take you on a journey through Moonlight Syndrome. Chisato senses something, and she tells Yukari she can feel Mika. Arisa says that she also feels something and that the school is full of voices. Yukari wants to do something about it, but Chisato warns her that this is not like their normal investigations. This is something dangerous. This could cost them their lives. But Yukari is adamant. She feels Mika calling for her senpai, and he's gonna go save her. Meanwhile, Ryo, having finally snapped out of whatever trance he was in, shows up at the school, having probably been drawn here because of the events that transpired tonight. Rumi is also here, and she tells him that this is the end and asks him where he's been. He tells her the truth, that he was at the end of the world, in that realm of tranquility. She believes him, because she wants to believe him. Which makes sense, because that's the world she remembers when she thinks of how their relationship was. Ryo tells her to leave. This place is full of darkness, and Rumi, she has to live. Rumi tells him to go save Mika. Inside, Arisa is wandering around the school, and I'm confused as to why she's wearing a different outfit. Did the last chapter happen? Was that perhaps a dream? Arisa's watch then beeps. In what seems to be a flashback, the trio are in the teacher's lounge, making a plan about how they're gonna go save Mika, and Yukari is shaking. Back in what seems like the present, Arisa tells herself that she needs to hurry up, and then she hears the unsettling laugh of a small child. Probably the child. He then appears to Arisa, and Arisa asks him if she's even human. He ignores the question and says to not worry. This won't take long, and asks if she's looking for Mika. Arisa tells him to not underestimate her, and that he shouldn't mess with her as she's an Esper. And then she demands to know where Mika is. A slash is heard, and then the boy creepily laughs and tells her she should have left when she had the chance. Yukari's watch beeps. They are all supposed to meet up here, and she wonders if anything bad has happened to the other two. She walks around the lounge and mumbles to herself, and then the laugh is back, and it stops her in her tracks. It keeps going and going and going. Meanwhile, Chisato is elsewhere. She can feel everything going on, all the spirits. Then her watch beeps, and she notices that it's behind, so it's already been 2 hours. And she was supposed to meet up back at the lounge already. She rushes up there and sees Yukari and the child. Yukari yells to Chisato, asking what is wrong with this kid. And Chisato says he's the one behind it all, and that he's the one who took Mika. The child puts on an act and says that he didn't do anything, and that he didn't take her. It apparently works on Yukari, like it's manipulating her. Chisato yells at her to wake up and that it's not true, and that he's just putting on an act. The boy says that he doesn't like Chisato very much, and then he turns his attention back to Yukari. Yukari tries to move, but she is stuck, unable to do anything. The boy yells at her that he has a present, and shows her something in his hand. Chisato yells at her to not look, but she can't do anything. It's Arisa's pendant. Yukari knows what has happened to her now, and she starts to scream. She's silent for a while and then she leaves the room. The boy looks at her for a while and then turns around to face Chisato. He asks how long it's been and why she's so sad. She yells at him that he won't get away with this and that she won't let him. He says he's ready when she is and to not go easy on him. Chisato powers up and attacks him. She falls to the ground, but we see that she landed a pretty good blow. And the boy laughs and exclaims that she got pretty close. Seriously close. Yukari is walking through the school seemingly in a state of shock. She tries to leave through the door, but it's locked and she keeps pulling and pulling and it just doesn't open. The boy runs up behind her and tells her that they're not done playing, and then a slash and a thump is heard. And then we see a blood spatter on the door. Ryo finally arrives, and the first thing he sees is Yukari's headless corpse and Yayoi. She asks him what he's doing here and how he can even be here. Ryo just answers with a question, asking where he is. Yayoi tells him to please don't and that she will protect him. He says that it's too late, and if she won't tell him, then she should at least get out of his way so that he can go deal with him himself. He says that he wishes they had met under different circumstances, and then walks away. And as he does, Yayoi tells him to please not die. Chisato somehow manages to literally put herself together and she walks up to Ryo. She doesn't say anything, but he asks if she wants him to follow, and then the two head towards where the boy is, passing Arisa's headless corpse on the way. They enter the teacher's lounge and see a katana. Ryo asks if this will kill him, and Chisato tells him that the weapon itself, it has no real strength, but that if he believes in himself and believe it does, then it will have. And then her lifeless body falls over. Ryo monologues to himself while he looks at the sword. He understands that he finally has a purpose to do this, and that this has been what the story is all about. Chisato said he was ready, but he's not sure. But he knows the only way to figure out who was right is to finish it. The boy appears and asks him if this is finally the end, and if Ryo has collected all the items and stocked up on health, and then he laughs and tells him that it's useless. He's the one in control here, and that there is nothing here that can help Ryo. He then asks him what he's gonna do, and laughs at his little sword. Ryo slices a piece of the boy's head off, and the boy just taunts him. Ryo slices another piece off, and the boy continues his taunting. By the third piece, the boy asks why he's even doing this. Everyone is already dead. Ryo slices off another piece, and the boy tauntingly asks if he thinks that this will save Mika. Ryo takes off another huge chunk, and then the boy tries to say something, but Ryo chops his head off before he can. Yayoi appears and tells him that he's done it, and that they can now all be together. When Ryo looks up, he sees that he's in the tranquil world again. He walks up to Sumio, who says that it's a shame that he wasn't the one to do it, and that anyone could. He also says that it's a good thing they had their rivalry, or else none of this would have happened, implying that it's good all of them died so that Ryo could kill the boy. As he finishes talking to Sumio, Ryo notices that Kyoko is standing at the foot of the hill. She tells him that it's not his fault, and that her death wasn't for nothing. In the end, her death saved his life. Yayoi walks up to the impaled little boy and tells him that she's sorry. Ryo runs through a landscape that is very recognizable from the final episode of Kyomei Hen, the previous game, and eventually he sees Mika, and then she falls into his arms and they embrace. The day is won. Except Maybe not. Rumi shows up to Ryo's apartment sometimes later. And she finds him sitting in a chair with a bloody bag that contains his sister's head. And when she pokes him, he slumps over, and she notices that the program he is watching is just that of Mika's face. Did he actually fight against the little boy at the end? The answer is no. Not quite, but also yes. And to explain what just happened, I will read to you one of the unused chapters from the game. A chapter that was written but never completed and never put in the game. It will shed some light about what happened with Ryo, how he came back, and why Mika is disappearing at the end and ends up as a TV monster, whatever thingy. So let's read that. No, this isn't over yet. Can I not save her? Can't I protect anyone? Kyoko, leave me alone. If I don't change now, I will need someone protecting me forever. The meadow disappeared with a poof, leaving Ryo surrounded by darkness on all sides. The lone figure of Mithra whooshed into view from its depths. I'm impressed, Ryo. Kyoko must be so pleased to hear you deliver such a fine speech. Mithra's voice spoke directly into his head. Mika really is very important to you, isn't she? If only you would have realized it sooner, before she went and died. Even more easily than Kyoko did. What? What are you saying? You don't mean that Kyoko was your doing too? I mean, we are friends after all. Kyoko, Sumio, I know all about you too, Ryo. What the hell are you doing all this for? Oh, no particular reason. I just want all of us to play together. I just want to play with Mika and you, Ryo. Let's just play and forget all our cares. Come on. Quit screwing with me, goddamn brat. You don't get it, do you, Ryo? You don't have a choice. I want to play, so you will have to play with me. You killed Kyoko, didn't you? It was you! It was you! It was you! Don't try to blame me for that. Kyoko's death was an accident, remember? Bam! And I wanted to play with her too, so I decided to play with Mika instead. But then Mika died too. I want to save her, whatever it takes. He heard Mika sob. The sound grew gradually louder and louder, finally turning into a pleading voice. Mithra giggled. See, Mika is asking for help too. Don't you hear? I'm a good boy. I can't just ignore her. Come on, Ryo. Let's help her. Fine. How do we do that? Really? Really? Yay! I knew you were more mature than Sumio. Okay, then promise me. Just saving her isn't fair, so I want a reward. I'm gonna save Mika now, so in exchange, I'll take the very first person you hug. What are you talking about? No! You promised, right? A living person, okay? Somebody, anybody you hug, okay? You said you would, Ryo. Don't break your promise. Mithra vanished and Ryo's consciousness stuttered momentarily. When he came back to himself, it was almost dawn. I'm alive. It's all over, all of it. It's done. Ryo began to walk, his legs spontaneously carrying him away from Hinashiro High. He wasn't sure where he was going or how he got there, but he then suddenly realized that he was standing on the embankment where he and Mika had first met. I want to have a good long rest. It's over. The nightmare is over. Ryo turned his gaze ahead of him along the embankment. Staggering along unsteadily as if sleepwalking, there she was, Mika. Mika! Ryo broke into a sprint, Mika's form growing steadily larger and larger. As they drew within touching distance of each other, their eyes met. Mika, however, looked as though she was on the verge of collapse. Ryo scooped her up, holding her tightly to him. "I see," he heard Mithra's voice say from out of nowhere. "It's not over yet." A couple of years later, a rookie cop has just been assigned to the heinous crime unit in the 25th ward of Tokyo. And one night when driving in the countryside, he sees a man walking in the dark, and the man is holding a bag. Before he can stop and talk to him, the man fires a bullet through his windshield and then disappears. The heinous crime unit tracks down the suspect's location, and when they enter his apartment building, they come across Rumi screaming incoherently. They corner the suspect on the roof, and it's Ryo, and he's holding a bag with his sister's head in it. He pulls a gun, and then the police shoot him, and then they shoot Rumi. A spirit crawls out of Ryo's body, and it identifies itself as Mithra, and then it rambles on incoherently before it vanishes. It was the spirit of the boy. He somehow entered Ryo during the confrontation, and he must have been stuck inside him, but able to make Ryo's life miserable. If you're a little lost about what just happened, don't worry. I'll explain that next time.